The exact origin of tango, both the dance and the word itself, are lost in myth and unrecorded history.
Most people agree that it's African origin, it's from African origin, and it means an enclosed space where people meet.
Just like many of the best-known rhythms of Latin American, milonga and tango music was strongly influenced by the African rhythms. From the late 17th century to the early 19th century, tens of thousands of African slaves were transported to Montevideo, mostly of Bantu communities from Eastern and Equatorial Africa, before being sold in Buenos Aires, Paraguay and Brazil. The intermixing of African, Spanish, Italian, British, Polish, Russian and native-born Argentines resulted in a melting pot of culture.
The tango come from the immigration of a lot of persons coming from different cultures from Europe. And so all these men were very sad to be away from their family. They used to meet each other down the street first and to share, to forget their pain. And they used to share between themselves. So at first there were only men dancing tango.
Most of the women and men arrived in poor health conditions, and since they could not be sold, they were left in quarantines in the outskirts of the city. Those that survived formed new communities in towns called quilombos and maintained their cultural traditions, particularly in terms of music and dance.
In the 17th, 18th century, the Africans that were being taken to South America, some would survive, some would not survive, some would be too sick, they would be put aside. And those people who were allowed to live tried to retain their culture. So they had the rhythms with them, they kept playing and they kept dancing their way. And that was slowly over before tango was even known. Yeah? And then there were the local culture, the countryside culture, the folk singers from the countryside. During the history, things were changing. They had to leave the country to find work in the city. And they got mixed with the African people, and they started, copying and mimicking and mixing their music with the rhythms and so on. And that, in short, was how tango formed before it became known as tango.
It was in these tenements where the African rhythms met the Argentine milonga music, soon after which new steps were invented and took hold as a new form of dance that combined traditions from diverse cultures. With its long history, new influences continue to change it all the time. Nowadays, it is electronic music that gives it a new lease of life.
Tango is changing all the time. Tango is a wonderful art form, and it can be at the level of the highest art forms that we accept as high art forms, like music in general, painting, and so on.
What makes it appealing to people?
It's very special to sing tango. It's not at all, for instance, like the French song. No, it's very, very special.
Since I started dancing tango, it seems like all the other dances started to fade away, because the levels of intensity that you feel not all the time, at the right moments, with the right person, at the right night, with the right music, the levels of bliss, of pleasure, of sharing that you feel, I have not found them in other dances.
Tango is a unique form of music. It is quite passionate in terms of character and strong rhythms, so that means it's very clear on where to step and the beats, keeping the beats in time.
Cuando todas las puertas están cerradas y
For the longest time, tango has been known to break the barriers between people, not just social but also economic barriers.
One of the beautiful things of tango, it attracts people from cross-section of society. You get CEOs of important companies, and you get students without a penny coming to, and they dance together.
It is like a family. We are all members of a family. The family is called Tango.
According to Michele, a renowned tango recital singer and dancer who has been practicing for more than 6 years, tango cannot be compared to any other form of dance because it is so real. And Mario, the founder of Patamango in Kenya, can't agree more.
You don't find the same atmosphere through other dance. It is something different. I don't know if it's because we hold each other so close with passion. We feel this music that can be very sad and nostalgic, or can be very happy and enthusiastic. But I am you and you are me when we are dancing together.
But you can be intimate with yourself and with the music, and you share that with somebody else, and it's between you. It will never happen again. Each tango you dance with someone is always special, and each time when you find it, it's a joy that stays.
Tango used to bring people together, creating a whole newfound relationship with each song telling a different story, all talking about life.
Anywhere we go, we are dancing tango, listening to a recital. We are all sharing love from one to the other and for the tango, through the tango, I would say.
Tango is danced in a community, and everybody is moving around the floor, and there's harmony in the group. There's harmony individually, harmony in the couple, and harmony in the group. So there's a tool for developing sensitivity to yourself, to your partner, to the group. And it's a wonderful window of opportunity to learn about ourselves and about how relationships should work.
Naturally, tango is picking rhythm in Kenya, and all the participants of tango see a bright future for tango locally and in Africa in general, looking forward to infect many with the tango moves.
I see a larger community, a larger tango community, more people coming to dance tango.
I would see it as a reference here, as a reference of, well, if you want to come to learn about tango, to share tango, I would see that as a reference. We will always help other people to learn tango, to grow tango. If dancers want to start teaching tango, we will help them.
Personally, I cannot say I am a tanguero, but from the little I have learned, I tend to agree with Stephen Brown, who said that in tango, heaven is found through the simple gift of grace that comes from getting out on the dance floor with the person that happens to be right for the moment, opening one's heart and falling in love again. The times that this happens, a dancer is just happy to be in the arms of another at the end of the tanda. Salvin, GBS.